Welcome to another edition of For the Health of It. I'm your host, Corian K. Paget, and today I have with me Jessica Dunnigan. I apologize.
All right.
Uh, Jessica is a bodybuilder in what division?
In figure and fitness.
Figure and fitness, and she's also
Yeah.
a personal trainer and
hmm
entrepreneur. Jessica, thank you so much
Right.
for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you allowing me to, to speak today. So thank you for that.
Indeed, indeed. So, before we get started, tell us a little bit about your background in athletics.
Okay. I started off in gymnastics around, I think, around middle school. So I did that competitively all the way up to my 11th grade year in high school.
Mhm.
And then my last 2 years, or my last year, I actually got involved in track. Gymnastics, of course, we had all four events. My favorite was floor. I loved anything with power, explosiveness. And then when I went to track, I did the relays, the 100, 200, and I did the hurdles, surprisingly, as a 5'1", but did the hurdles and also did long and triple jump. So my coach knew I was like really heavily involved in gymnastics. So he put me everywhere, almost every single event that could be possibly done. So that was my athletic background. And then once I hit college, I pretty much continued to just train and work out. I was thinking about like competing for or signing up for track, college level, but I just was more focused just with school. So I never really pursued it. But just through school, I just continued to train and work out. And that kind of course, led me through personal training and bodybuilding now. So
That's dope. That's dope. What you major in?
yeah. Kinesiology, so health. Well, most people kinesiology for short, but
Right.
I'm exercise and sports science. Yeah.
All right, cool. That's dope. That's dope.
hmm
Same here.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cool. And also, I'm a track coach for the high school I work at, so that's cool.
Okay. Good deal. So
Cool.
you understand about all those events I was
I
talking
do,
about.
and I do. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, when I was at my previous high school, one of the girls coaches was like, "Hey, if she's a dancer, I'm gonna put her on the hurdles. So as soon as you do the gymnastics," and he was like, "Yeah,
Yes, that's exactly what they assume.
that's dope. That is dope." Okay, so let's talk about what made you want to get into bodybuilding, like, or just tell me how did you get started in it?
Well, I was interested in like fitness modeling and advertising at the time, and I went to Texas for like an audition. I started training for that, and then I actually came back. I got actually a personal trainer here in town, and he was telling me, you ever thought about bodybuilding? And I was like, no, because I thought, all I thought was like a very manly person. I didn't want to be a manly female, I wanted to look feminine, and that's what was my mindset at the time. I just didn't think, I could do something like that in that sport, and I thought I would lose my femininity. And so anyway, he just told me to like go to one, check it out. I went to one a few hours away, checked it out, and like fell in love. Like I'm a competitor by nature, so I love to compete. And so from there, I was like, all right, let's find a competition, let's go. And we started training for that. And I pretty much got bitten by the bug. Once I did my first competition in Nashville, in 2018, I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And I started learning more about the sport and different divisions and where I fit. I started off as a bikini, and then I went into figure because of just my body build. So,
Okay,
and that landed me here.
that's dope. So tell me about the difference between figure and fitness.
Okay, so big difference, but still some similarities. So with figure, it's of course about the posing, your physique. They're looking for that nice V, showing your delts, that small waist, of course, nice toned legs. And of course, the judges have certain things, criteria for its definition and things like that they look for. Fitness is a lot more acrobatic movement. So that's when the gymnastic background kind of came into play. So it's a more tumbling, strength movements. It's not just tumbling, but just showing like how strong you are, being able to hold your body weight, being able to tumble. And then your physique is also judged too. So fitness is to me, it's more difficult than figure. Figure, you're standing, you're posing, and you make sure you're well conditioned. But fitness, you having to do a lot of endurance and cardio on a diet. So it's hard. It's definitely a challenge.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how long have you been personal training?
2 years.
Okay.
2 years now. 2 years now, and I love it. It's good to be able to motivate others, and at the same time, me motivate myself towards my goals too.
Okay.
So it's very rewarding.
Okay. And how long have you been in bodybuilding for? About roughly 2 years?
Almost 2 years too. Yeah, almost 2 years as well. So just about tit for tat. Once I started the business, at the end of that year, going into that following year is when I started getting into the bodybuilding. So
Okay.
just about tit for tat.
So what year did you graduate college?
2015 from
Okay.
the University of Alabama. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So you got personal training. So you Roll Tide?
Yeah, I'm a roll tide.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm roll tide. I always tell people I never get caught up into like I was like, I just went for the education.
Gotcha.
I probably went to one game. I was not into it, but roll tide. I mean, they gave me my diploma, so roll tide.
Okay. All right. And if you don't mind, what high school
Yeah.
are you from?
County High.
Okay.
County High.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then y'all
Oh, wow.
be Wildcats?
Yeah, we're the
Okay.
Wildcats.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. So one thing I want to talk about for my upcoming season, or this season that you're in, I want to talk
Right.
about 5 components of physical fitness, which are muscular strength, muscular endurance, cardiovascular endurance, body composition, and
Right.
flexibility. So I want to know, in your opinion, which of those 5 do you feel is the most important, and why?
I think all of them are really important, but I think the most important for me, I think, is the body composition, understanding your body fat. Because I feel like that, if you understand that, you understand like force, your muscle endurance, your flexibility, your strength, all that. To me, that's the foundation. So I feel like if you can understand where your body fat percentage is, your composition, then you'll be able to maneuver in those other elements a little easier. And then you understand, okay, I need to understand what size weights to use, and I need to understand like my cardiovascular endurance, and understand where I am now and how I can progress. So it just allows you to dive into those other ones a little bit more as well. So I would say the body fat, understanding your composition being the number one.
Nice. Kind of expected that one from a bodybuilder.
Of course.
But hey, I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think there's no wrong answer as long as you can justify it.
Yeah.
Very intelligent answer. So you said you graduated college in 2015.
Right.
And you started training and competing in 2018. What were you doing between those years?
Well, between those times, I was actually working at a hospital here as a physical therapy technician. So I was pursuing physical therapy at the time. So training was nowhere on my radar. I trained a few people just periodically. People would see me at the gym. Hey, do you train? Things like that. That was my background degree-wise. So I could have went right into personal training. But that just was not my mindset. But I was at a hospital in acute care, dealing with really serious issues when it comes to patient care. So that really helped me as a trainer, understanding the rehab process. So I definitely am blessed for those few years. That's pretty much what I was doing, just working. The normal 9 to 5, go to work early, come back, and pretty much that was it. I was still trying to do the fitness advertisement. So I was, doing photos and trying to stay in shape because I thought I was going to go like that direction.
Right.
And I kind of am, but so that's what I was doing in between.
Okay. All right. So one thing when I was in school, I started off as like a kinesiotherapy major. Have you ever heard of it?
Okay. I have, right.
Okay. So one thing that really like kind of pushed me out of that, man, if my teacher ever watches this, he gonna be like, man, I'm disappointed in you. But the setting like seemed kind of depressing to me. Like you'll be mainly working with a lot of veterans, and not that working with veterans is boring, but just that they've been through a lot, and then you got to work with them day in and day out. So mentally that drains you, and then the setting just stays kind of stagnant, and that would kind of bore me. Did you get that setting, or did you get that feeling, or how was it for you when you were a PTA?
Yeah, for me starting off when I was like undergrad and I started doing internships, that I did experience that boredom because it was more like in a clinic setting. It's the same old, showing the, the patients their exercises. When I got in the hospital setting, it was a little different. Like that's when it kind of spiced up a little bit. And I was, I told myself, this is something I really think I want to do. But it is that it can be a little mundane because you're doing the same thing over and over. You can get bored and the four walls feel like they're closing in on you. So I can definitely relate to both, to be honest. But I think when the hospital setting, it kind of, broadened my horizon a little bit, because it can be pretty broad when it comes to, especially physical therapy portion. But if not, you can easily become bored doing the same old. So I can relate to that.
Yeah, definitely. So do you have any ambitions in getting back into physical therapy? Or
someone asked me that. I want to say no. We still use some of that, within the fitness arena. I'm not belittling the full of physical therapy is very needed, but I think my calling is a little bigger than that for me personally. So I don't see the short answer straight to the point. Now I don't see myself going back to that. No. But I mean, that was always been a passion of mine. So, but I think it was just like a bridge to kind of connect me with fitness and to help my clients even more and understand them at a deeper level as they come in.
I can definitely feel you on that. A lot of people see, just the nature of physical therapy itself is kind of like a reactive measure versus a proactive measure. And then people are, if you're active, if you're physically fit and physically active, the chances of you getting hurt working out or doing whatever, it's gonna happen. You take 100 people, maybe 10 people get hurt, and then that's the need of a physical therapist or whatever else happens with a car accident or anything like that. But personal training and strength and conditioning coaches, those are more proactive fields. So I feel that.
True. I definitely relate. I think that was one of my things too. Like you want to do something that's where you're helping people who are able, to help themselves in a way. And so I definitely agree.
Okay. Yeah. All right. If you don't mind, can you tell us about one of your most exciting client? You don't have to name drop them or anything.
Oh yeah. Yes. I guess I can say one of the most rewarding experiences I've had. I had one in particular. I had to pick up something from her house, and I really dive into like self-reflection, making sure I motivate them, self-love, things like that. And so when I went to her house, she went around back. She told me to come here. She said, come around back. And around the back side of her house, she showed me where she meditates, where she prays, and she has her time. And I teach about that, like having your time, self-reflect, things like that. So she showed me her little oasis. And when I came back around, her husband told me, you really helped my wife transform. Like he couldn't even put it into words, but I knew what he was saying. He basically was saying like, she's not just different physically, but he can tell as a wife and as a mother, she was different. And I was like, bingo. I'm like, that's what I want to see. The transformation within the clients that I train, not just to see their weight in inches come down, that's all good, but to see them be better people is rewarding. So that was something that, I would never forget that experience. That was my most rewarding experience for sure.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So your clientele, can you tell me about the makeup of your clientele?
Yes, so predominantly women is pro-female. But men I do allow the men to come through periodically, but it's mainly women-based, just an area where it's their oasis to get their body healthy. Age range is from 20 to 60 range, so it's a big age gap there, but mainly women, pretty much predominantly. Yeah.
Cool.
What's up, everybody? It's Austin here. Continue to watch the video, but first, let me tell you about For the Health of It merchandise. This is it right here. The link is in the bio. Make sure to check us out and show our brand some love. Show For the Health of It some love. Subscribe to us now. Do it. Like the video and continue to come back and watch. And cop some of this merchandise. We're here for the culture and for the health of it. So get it. for the health of it.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your experiences in bodybuilding.
Okay.
Well, hold on. I could tell you how I first found your Instagram.
Okay.
A guy named Drew Crumbly. Y'all competed in the same show this past summer. His Instagram
Okay.
is Mississippi Muscle.
Yeah, I think I do remember that, the IG name.
Yeah,
Mississippi Muscle.
he won his class and you won your class, and y'all were all on the stage together. Big black.
Yeah.
So
I do remember.
yeah. So I saw your page and I was like, okay, black chick, let me check her out. Clicked on her, and
Yeah.
it's like a little Afro puff.
Natural.
I gotta
I
click.
remember you saying that.
So can you speak on that? Go ahead.
Yeah. For us, even the natural style, even on stage. Yeah, that honestly, 1, 2, 3. That was probably my 4th competition, I think. The one you're talking about, and I wore the natural bun, and it was so liberating, so freeing, because usually I wear, and most wear a wig, or they wear braids, but mostly they wear wigs, and I just wanted to feel comfortable. I knew I was doing a tumbling routine, I knew I was doing posing, but I was like, I want to feel comfortable. I don't want to have to worry about worrying about the hair. And so that was the first time I actually wore my natural hair on the stage, and I debated, a few days for the competition, say, well, no, if this doesn't work, I'll just put a wig on, but I just knew I just wanted to be my natural self. And it was just like, and that was part of it. My natural hair was part of my natural self. So when I did that, it was just the best competition. And like, you can, from the photos, like you can tell, like I had a good time, regardless of the placement. I'm glad I placed good. I mean, that's definitely important, but you can tell like I enjoyed myself because I felt so comfortable in my skin,
That's dope. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. So as we know, this year, or when this actually plays, it'll be 2021. But you competed a couple of times in 2020. How is that experience, or how was that experience competing in 2020?
It was a challenge. We ended up having the course closed down a lot here. So I had to even get quarantined. So my training stopped for about 2-3 weeks, and I was like, "Hey, coach, I felt like I was losing all my muscle gains and everything." So I was outside having to be creative with workouts. I did lose. I can definitely tell. I lost a little bit, but I felt very unprepared for the competition. And I kind of just broke down to my coach, and I was like, "Hey, I don't feel like I'm ready." And this was the previous one I just competed at. I was like, I don't feel like I'm ready. He's like, you're ready. You're good. And he reassured me. I hit the ground running with my, with my coach, and then also the skill set coach, which helps me with the routine. And then once I did that, it kind of was a confidence booster because I had someone helping me with my routine. But it was definitely a challenge because I had a fear of getting COVID, getting sick, knowing if that happened, then hey, I can't, like, especially the final few weeks of competition, I'm like, no one breathe. Don't breathe, like nothing, because I felt like, hey, I might contract it, and that was very nerve-wracking. And I'm not being, light on the issue because I know it's a very serious issue, but I was nervous of possibly getting it because, you work so hard, like 3 to 4 months, you invest money, you invest time, and energy, and then you come to that point, hey, you can't go, you need to, and you missed the date. So that was a big fear, but I just kept, I was just very prayerful during that time, and I did fine, but it was definitely a challenge for sure. I mean, you can't go out like normal, to gyms.
Right. And how was personal
tough.
training, and how was like all your training classes during this era?
Yeah, we shut down for about 2, maybe 3 weeks, and they were so ready to come back because it's tough for sometimes them to be motivated inside their own house, because sometimes when the gym is their getaway just for themselves, and so we had to shut down. We went virtual. Everything was via Zoom. All their workouts had to be converted to how they are at home for as what they have around their house. So it was a lot more work on my end to make sure they could still get a workout. They could still stay accountable, motivated at their house. So that was probably the hardest thing, was just trying to keep them motivated and bring that same energy in front of like a little screen,
Right.
And I think it grew them a lot because they had to learn how to step up to, a little bit more.
That's dope. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you've been personal training for 2 years, and you went from being a PTA to personal trainer.
Right.
when did you know that you wanted your own business?
I actually didn't. Once I was trying to pursue the physical therapy, that was not working out. I started reassessing. I thought healthcare management. And then I knew something healthcare, you know. So I reassessed. Someone messaged me on IG saying, hey, you know, I would like you to do health coaching, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I was kind of, you know, always, you know, talk things through. And I was talking to my mom. I was like, hey, you know, what do you think about this? And she's like, why don't you do your own thing? So that's when I said, okay, I think I'm gonna branch out and do my own thing. I was scared because I didn't know anything about doing my own thing. But everybody was placed in my path to help me. I got a business consultant. She's out of state. She's still my consultant now. And she consulted with me like how to do everything from the LLC, everything. But it wasn't my plan. It's just out of like not being able to get the direction I wanted to. I just started reassessing my route and seeing like what direction do I really want to go. I knew my main goal was to help people. Like it has to be something in that arena, and I knew it had to be motivating, you know. So yeah, that kind of, you know, got me here.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
it definitely makes sense. So
yeah.
We've talked about, well, before I go here, I want to go right here. It's 2021, you know, New Year's resolution and whatnot.
Yeah.
People are wanting to get in shape and stay in shape. What advice do you give?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I would say if you're trying to get in shape for 2021, I would mainly say embrace the process. Don't put a timeline on it. That's the thing I would say, because a lot of times this is the question I get: how long will it take me to ... And that's the question I hate to hear, because I understand the question, but at the same time, you have to fall in love with the process. It's like me asking my coach, all right, coach, how long for these legs to get toned? How long do I have to wait till these legs to get toned? I have to embrace the process. I have to train day in and day out. And that gets me, and I stop thinking about the end goal, and I just let my body just transform. So I would say if you're going in, would be to, you know, follow over the process. You're going to have moments where you slip up if you're eating. You're going to have moments you're not going to work out. You're going to have moments where you just don't feel like it. But to push past that, and do what you can do each day. Each day, try to do something better. Just like we better ourselves daily. What can you do more today to get you to your overall goal? So I would just say take the time limit off and embrace the process.
I like that.
That's what I'm saying.
I like that. Embrace the process. I like that.
Yeah.
Very 76ers.
Yeah. Right. We've been hearing that so much lately. I'm like, but it's so true.
But it is.
Embrace it, man. It's so true. Take the pressure off.
Yes, as cliche as it is very true.
It is for sure.
All right. So we know that Jessica is a bodybuilder, figure competition and fitness. We know she's a personal trainer and entrepreneur. You know what you do. Now, can you tell us why you do what you do?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe it's always important to have a why. The why I do what I do is because I'm a people's person. I'm introvert at the same time extrovert, but I am a people's person down at heart. And I think for me, I like to be able to motivate people. I love being able to inspire them. And I know, you know, that might sound so basic, but I love that feeling of being able to give something that I'm gifted with be the gift of training or gift of motivating, the gift of words, to be able to push someone else. So that's pretty much why I do what I do. And it's tough. And sometimes I ask myself, why do I do what I do? But I know deep within, like, I know I want to be able to see people's lives transform. And I know for a fact, like, just seeing how when they're more confident in themselves, how they, you know, they dress different. They say, well, I'm wearing, you know, shorts today. I'm wearing a sleeveless top today. I wore this dress out with my husband. That's rewarding. To see them, you know, come in the studio with a little bit more, you know, their chest up higher and head up. That's rewarding, you know, and just to see, like, you know, them able to play with their kids more, because they had health issues before, but now, you know, they can hang with their kids and play more. That's rewarding to me. So I think that's what keeps me pushing, you know.
That's cool. I like that. I like that. I like to be an inspiration and inspiring to people. I appreciate it.
Right.
So let's talk about your last show that you competed in 2020.
Okay.
What place did you come in, and how was
So
it?
we came in the top. I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. I was just saying, how was the training process? Go ahead.
Yeah, I came in the top 5. They chose 2 for pro. I wasn't able to get the pro card, but you know, hindsight, I'm glad I didn't, and that's hard to say, but it really put me in a whole nother gear. And I talked with my coach about that. I'm like, the Jess that competed before is not like the Jess that's like here now. My drive for it is like on a whole nother level. And you know, I was talking to my coach last week, and I was on the way home because I travel about 30 minutes away or 45 minutes away. And I was like getting teared up in the car because I'm like, man, I really want this, because not proving it to anybody else, but proving to myself that I can do it. And so, you know, it's been a tough process, but definitely having to really reassess my goals from that competition, because I was in a bigger pool, bigger class of women, different people from around the world. So, you know, you have more competition. So it made me realize, like, hey, Jess, you know, you need to step your game up in this area. But it was the best competition I've had in a while, because I made a lot of friends behind the stage. And I really had to, I got to see how it is at a national level, because I never competed at a national level before. So I got to see, okay, this is what they're looking for. This is what the judge is expecting. And these are how the athletes are looking in this arena. So I'm definitely thankful I placed how I placed. I mean, I was glad to get the top 5, and I couldn't ask for anything better than that. So
Yeah, so now you definitely can. That's an accomplishment. You might not.
Yeah, it is.
You might not have got the goal you wanted, but top 5
Right.
in your first national show is definitely an accomplishment. So
Yeah.
congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I haven't seen any videos, but from the pictures that I saw that you
I
posted,
know.
you look like you rocked the stage. Like,
Thank you. Thank you. I
I,
haven't posted any on IG yet. I posted on Facebook. A few of my clients were saying, like, show us the video. I'm like, no, but I posted it, and yeah, they were so proud to see it. And you know, I'm very critical. You know, I'm a person, like, I'm a go-getter. I like to get what if I'm focused on, I want to get that goal. And you know, it was good for them to see, hey, you know, my trainer didn't get that goal, but she's still pushing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm more driven than ever now that I didn't reach exactly where I wanted to get to. So definitely not over with the comps.
good. I love the motivation, and I love the drive.
Yeah.
I told my wife one time, she was going through an issue.
Yeah.
No, don't upgrade. I put the wrong thing.
No.
No.
That's okay.
So we should still be, yes, yeah, we're still recording. All right.
Yeah, I see that.
So told my wife one time when we were going through an issue, just with her trying to pass one of her step exams. And she, you know, she was kind of down in the dumps. So I was like, you know, people love a good comeback story. Like,
Don't they?
They love a good comeback story. Nobody loves the winner, that person that wins.
Every.
And they
Right.
never like are down. And behind the scenes, you never know how hard that person's working. You know, that person's probably always working hard. But
Right.
you know, if people can see your struggles and they know what you're going through, they're gonna be cheering for you.
Right.
So
100%. I agree. Like, I just piggyback off of that. Like, I was telling myself that, I'm like, man, like I'm a person, if you tell me no, I'm gonna probably do it. If you say it can't be done, I'm gonna try to find some way to get it done. So, you know, that was like, you know, it telling me, you know, hey, okay, you came short. All right, well, look, we're gonna compete again, and see where we go. And like I said, you never know your outcome, but my main goal is to get better every time. And I'm a person, I love a challenge. So like, I will step up to the plate.
good.
I will step up to the plate. So I'm excited to see what happens.
So what's on the plate for 2021?
Continue with the business, continue to, you know, help women with their health goals. Definitely competing. I talked with my coach, we're going to set the next competition for May. So I'm already like the week after competition, I was at the gym, and that was my off week. And I was like, yep, let's get it. So definitely to compete again. I don't know, do some more talks. Definitely. I love public speaking. So anything like that, where I know I'm motivating people regardless of the age group, definitely more of that. And I don't know, just kind of go into some different doors within fitness, definitely looking into like, you know, the fitness modeling arena. I still enjoy that. So that's something that I would like to get into. And so, yeah, we're just going to see. I'm trying to like condense all my goals. And that's what I was going to do last night. And then kind of like put who's going to be attached to each one to help me get there. But trying to make sure I don't put too much on my plate, but make sure, hey, you know, I'm being proactive.
Right. So that's what's up. Well, before we get you out of here, Jess, you got anybody you want to shout out, and then also shout out your social medias.
Okay. So starting with social media, so IG or Instagram is Jesslife, the number 4 and then fit. Jesslife4fit. Instagram, let's see, Facebook is Jess Dunnigan or JESS. Then the last name DUNNIGAN. You'll see my business page attached. Most of the content is about pretty much the same. And I don't know. I don't shout out to my tribe, you know, my clients. And then shout out to my coach, Greg, Haley, Tiff. And that's about it, I think. And my parents. I mean, I would definitely say my parents. I feel like I'm doing a grand speech, but my parents.
Hey, that's dope. That's dope. Hey, Jess, thank you so much for coming on for us. We definitely
Thank you.
And major shout out and good luck to you in this coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you for you know, allowing me to speak, and thank you for the support. That means a lot.
Indeed, definitely. We're going to continue with too. I look forward to
yes, sir.
Growing our professional relationship.
Amen. Amen.
All right. This has been another episode of For the Health of It. I'm your host, Corian K. Patrick. Thank you.